I'm currently standing outside what looks to be just an old apartment building. You've got cracked paint, rusty balconies, nothing special, right? Except it kind of is. This is 42 Nguyen Hue in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. And each and every day, thousands of people, including myself, show up to this apartment building to explore. My name is Edinger, and today we're going to be uncovering why this apartment complex is one of Vietnam's most popular tourist attractions, despite the government's best efforts to shut it down. So what exactly is this place? Well, built in the 1960s, this was a typical residential block built for government workers during the Vietnam War era, or as it's rightfully called here, the War Against America to Save the Nation. Bit long, but fair. Back then, this apartment building was just that, an apartment building. But then things changed. Rents dropped, the decades passed, residents moved out, and then slowly but surely, something interesting happened. In the 2010s, all of a sudden, a cafe opens up. Then above them, a tea shop. Slowly but surely, boutiques started opening up and people started wondering, oh, what's going on with this apartment complex? Seems pretty cool. And before long, this building became a vertical maze of independent creative businesses. The whole cafe apartment complex spans 9 floors. Within it, you can find yourself in a big bookstore or climb the stairs and turn a few corners and now you're in a beauty parlor. Or my favorite, this cafe called 21 Grams. So this here is egg coffee. It doesn't look like egg yolks. I've never had anything like that. Also, it's 38 degrees out today, so this is a welcome treat. So why do people come here? Well, get a load of this view. With cafes on practically every floor, you get a really interesting and unique view of Ho Chi Minh City, all for the price of a coffee. It's a vibe. Like, look at that building. He's a cool guy. Sure, the entrance to the building is tucked away next to a convenience store, and despite the fact that it is 9 stories tall, you have to pay to ride the lift, and it costs 3,000 dong, which is equivalent to about 10p or 15 US cents, so I guess it's not that bad. That makes sense. But I mean, climbing the stairs does feel like part of the experience. Get your steps in, even when it's 36 degrees out. Either way, you are rewarded with an interesting discovery on every floor. And when we originally came to this place, I was excited to see this English tea parlor that I'd heard so much about online, only to find out it's one of the businesses that has since left. Businesses are always coming in and going. They find success and then they move on, and then another business fills its place. Heather and I popped into an organic Vietnamese cosmetic shop on the 5th floor, and we had a really nice donut at Dosh, a boutique donut shop on the 3rd floor. Wow. All right, so what did you get? Donut. This is a cocoa matcha donut with this. Should we?
You injected.
Should I do the honors? This is Ozempic. Put some in there. All right. I actually really like the combination of the matcha and the coconut. Mm-hmm. They really go well together. Because of the spontaneous layout, some establishments really require you to explore to actually find them. For instance, even if you had heard of the Crystallini cocktail bar on the 1st floor, if you went up the stairs to the 1st floor or took the lift to the 1st floor, you'd never find it, because you actually have to take the stairs to the 2nd floor, go down the corridor, turn right, look for a secret staircase.
It is this way.
Go down that staircase, turn left, and there is a bookshelf. You have to spin the bookshelf and then ring a buzzer and hopefully they let you in. When I went, they ended up being closed, so I didn't even get a chance. I have to now go back at nighttime to get a glimpse inside. But this is so cool, like it genuinely sounds like something out of Pokemon Gold, where you go into a building and you can see that there's another part of the building you can't access from the room you're in. You need to find another way around to get into this other place. It feels like you're exploring. you're rewarded for more thoroughly exploring the ins and outs of this building with a more unique experience. And it just fills me with a sense of like childlike wonder. How could you not be interested in that? This is such a unique and serendipitous concept that alone causes intrigue. And sure, the building used to look a lot worse, but now businesses like this one have really been beautifying their balconies, making it look like it stands out on street level. And this isn't just any street. 42 Nguyen Hue is on one of the most popular pedestrianized streets in all of Ho Chi Minh City. This street was already a perfect place to hang out, so this decrepit apartment complex having a rebirth to fit the needs of the community feels like a perfect progression for the neighborhood. And let's be honest, there is the Instagram factor. I mean, every cafe has its own quirky little interior. It feels like you discovered it, and it's perfect for photos. But here's the part you might have seen coming. This beloved spot, which has only really existed in its current form for a decade or so, well, technically, it shouldn't exist. Local authorities have raised safety concerns for years. Structurally, the building is very old, and it wasn't designed to have thousands of cafe patrons across 9 floors each and every day. It was actually just meant for living. Fire safety, not quite up to spec. And each and every time a business comes or goes, usually the new business wants to remodel the apartment so that it better fits their business. And each and every time, well, it's not like they're having to go through any bureaucracy. They're not having to sign away any things to be like, yeah, the kitchen can go here. We need a sink over here. They're just kind of doing it because, well, they're not really supposed to be in there. And each time that remodeling happens, well, I wouldn't feel very comfortable living in the flat, and it's not like the place doesn't have any residents in it. There are a couple floors in this building where people still live. So it's always in a constant state of change. There are still a few odd residents that live across a couple floors in the building, and as cool as I think it is to be able to live in a building like this that's always got something going on, well, I also don't know how cool I feel like it would be to feel like I have no idea what's going on above me. Exactly. Any of the floors above me could be retrofitting the space in ways that the building was not designed to handle, and I'm just living underneath them. The government has made several attempts to close it down. In February 2017, city officials sent a notice to business owners of 42 Nguyen Hue, informing them that they needed to vacate the property within 15 days. By law, households are not allowed to conduct business in residential units in Vietnam. Yet this deadline has long passed, and many years later, the businesses here are still thriving. And the longer the cafes, the restaurants, the boutiques continue to exist here, the more popular they become with tourists, with locals, and the more unpopular a decision it would be to enforce this law. Tourists love it, locals love it, and shutting this place down wouldn't just remove a tourist hotspot, but it would also displace a lot of small business owners and remove such a beautiful, unique part of the city. Yeah, I called it beautiful. Look at this thing. It's cool. Plus, in a city evolving this fast, there's beeps. Plus, in a city evolving this fast, there's a growing movement to preserve buildings like this as a memory of Saigon's past amid all the more modern high-rises. This seems like one of those cases where it might just be in the government's best interest to invest in the building and refurbish it, get it back up to safety standards, rather than destroying something so iconic and such a good community hub. Only time will tell if the cafes and shops that you find when you visit are the same as when I visited today, or if they're there at all. But I, for one, really hope the city finds a way of preserving this really unique piece of history that shows a perfect blend of Saigon's old with the new. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna finish the rest of my egg coffee. Wow, this hits the spot. Just like today's video sponsor. One of the coolest parts about visiting 42 Nguyen Hue was just how many different vendors were selling different things all across the different floors. Thankfully, no one was selling my data because I used today's video sponsor, mkii. If you guys aren't aware, mkii is a service that basically makes sure that all the data brokers across the internet that have been harvesting and collecting all of your personal data to sell it to different agencies and advertising groups to basically target you with ads and more nefarious things as well, such as publishing your private address and such on the internet for people to pay money to get access to it. mkii reaches out to all of these agencies on your behalf and gets them to get rid of your personal data. It's yours, not theirs. Why are they profiting off of your pain? It's honestly a sad world we live in. I mean, wow. It says what to expect when you sign up for mkii. You get fewer spam calls, robocalls, and scams. You get lower exposure to cyber attacks. You get reduced financial risks and reduced online visibility. Well, I'd actually like my visibility online to be bigger. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. One day, gonna hit that 1 million subscribers. But Incogni is keeping all the bad people out and more good people in. As you can see from my dashboard here, Incogni have already saved me so much cumulative time by getting my data removed from so many websites. It's in the multiple hundreds at this point. It's wild. I don't have to do anything. It all is done every single month in the background. They're like, oh, Evan, by the way, we found your data. Show up again. And I'm like, get rid of it. Just kidding. I don't have to say anything. Incogni does it all for me. And if you'd like Incogni to do it all for you, make sure to sign up using incogni.com/Evan Edinger. And you can get a lovely discount on a nice plan. You can get 60% off their current plan. It's a great bargain. It's a deal. They took my data and gave it to the Chinese. Sign up at incogni.com/Evan Edinger today and protect your online data. So thanks Incogni for sponsoring. Now, let me wrap this up. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was really fun. I didn't expect it to be so hot here, but that's because I'm an idiot. All right, that's it. Well, this was a fun one to make. I just wanted to give a big personal shout out to my partner Heather for putting up with me filming videos I find interesting on the holidays that we share together. So thank you, Heather. I appreciate you. And thank you to you for watching this vid. Hope you enjoyed it. And hope to see you back on my YouTube channel next Sunday. Goodbye.